Hey, yo, what up, though, fellas? Back at it again with another video. Because, we improving every day. Oftentimes, when you hear a black man saying that other races of women are just tremendously more feminine than black women, there's something beneath the surface that's really going on when he says that. A lot of guys make the mistake of just taking it at face value and saying, oh, these guys are saying white women are more feminine, I'm gonna go mess with some white women instead. Or Asian women are more feminine, I'm gonna go mess with some Asian women instead. Instead of really looking between the lines at what they're really saying. When a black man says that other races of women are more feminine than black women, what he's really saying is that he doesn't know how to set the tone with a woman as a man. He doesn't know how to lay the foundation. He doesn't know how to be in the lead. He doesn't know how to lead the interactions. Lay the foundation for the energy that's going to be between them. He doesn't know how to do that. And so when you fail at setting the tone with different types of women, you're going to get different reactions, usually based on the way they were raised and the way they were socialized. So, for example, what I've come to realize is that with white women, you don't have to be as masculine. That's why oftentimes when you see black men with white women, they're a much more effeminate black man. They're a bit more goofy, a bit more silly, a bit more willing to do certain childish things. Just overall, not as masculine. And I can only speak on what I've seen throughout my life. But that's what a lot of my other peers have seen as well and observed as well. When you see a lot of black men get with white women, they're not, your upright, total masculine black men who you look up to. No, usually the very strong black men are with black women. The reason why a lot of guys who can't set the tone end up finding oasis in other races of women is because other races of women are quicker to accept you in a less masculine state, especially white women. Now, there is a whole psychological aspect as to why. That would be a whole other video in itself. But if you already know what's going on, then you know what I'm talking about. White women are much more willing and even sometimes prefer that you as a black man don't know how to set the tone. You don't know how to really take on your masculine duties. You're not in your masculine essence fully. A lot of times they prefer that from a black man because they want a certain power dynamic. They want a certain power dynamic. As long as they can have the high ground on you, that's a good spot for them. And a lot of black men, let's be honest, a lot of black men look up to white women. And so they're more than okay with following the woman's tone, following that white woman's lead, playing in that white woman's game. Men who know how to set the tone, be masculine, usually they're going to attract their own women. That's why you see strong, masculine black men attract other black women. That's why you see, whatever white people consider strong and masculine, those men usually attract white women. Same thing with Asian or, if we get into ethnicities, Latinos and Hispanics and all of that. The strong men in a given community will attract the women in his community. He won't have to say, oh man, these other women over here socialized by these other men are more feminine, so I'm gonna go mess with these women instead. I'm gonna give up on the women who are in my community because I can't handle them, so I'm gonna go to some other women. No, strong masculine men don't do that. They don't do that. They just don't. I'm just being honest with y'all. I know, I might lose some subs for this. I might get some BS in the comments for this. But really, if a dude is triggered by what I'm saying, to me, that just gives me more validation that it's true. Not that I need the validation. I already know it's true. I already know what I'm saying is the truth. The only reason a man would go to some other group of women away from his own women is because he doesn't know how to deal with his own women. So when it comes to a black man, Most of the time, that issue was just not being masculine enough for a black woman. With black women, you have to do more to really earn a certain type of treatment from them. You have to meet a certain masculinity threshold to get really that desired treatment from a black woman. The masculinity standard for black men is higher, as it should be. The standard is higher. And so if you don't meet that, they not gonna mess with you. They not gonna mess with you. That's why one common thing that you'll notice from a lot of black men who find solace in white women is that they'll say, when I was trying to talk to black women, a lot of them were calling me gay, calling me effeminate, calling me soft, saying I wasn't tough enough. That's why you hear a lot of those men say that's what black women told them, called them. And then they misinterpret that and think, oh, black women just want drug dealers and thugs and gangsters. Nah, they just want a masculine man. They just want a masculine man. And so, some women are just ruthless like that. So if she was around you and you were giving effeminate vibes, yeah, she might have messed around and called you gay, or called you weak, or called you soft, called you sweet. I'm not justifying that behavior. I don't think women should just go around calling dudes out their name, accusing them of being something they might not be. But it's a reason why they do that. It's a reason why they do that. Most black women don't want to be in the leading position with another black man. They don't want to have the upper hand with a black man. They don't want to have the higher ground on a black man. Because that's just not how we are set up biologically. They want that black man to lead. They want that black man to be strong, tough, fierce, masculine. Know how to guide them both to success. Whereas when you start intermixing races and, interracial dating, interracial relations, that dynamic no longer exists for the most part. That's why you see a lot of black male celebrities get embarrassed by a lot of white women. A lot of these white women, they find ways to finesse and get these black men in bad positions because they know how to play the game like that. They know how to make it seem like you in the lead, that you in the front. That's why a lot of these guys say, oh, when I'm with white women, I just feel more like a man. When really, they just playing the game. They pulling your strings. And then they end up getting over on you. And then a lot of those same men end up trying to come back and say, oh man, the white women, I should have listened. She did me dirty. She did me wrong. It's like, well, we told you. We told you so. And I'm going to close this video out by saying, I don't have nothing against white women or other races of women. I barely even know other races of women. All I'm trying to get you to do is to look to yourself when you encounter problems before putting blame on something else or somebody else. When guys are trying to date in their race, when black men are trying to date black women, and that black man ends up thinking that all these black women are just not feminine enough, they too masculine, they too this and too that. Instead of doing that, maybe look to yourself. Because all these other black men not getting that poor treatment from black women that you get. More than likely it's something wrong with you and not the women. More than likely it's something that you not bringing to the table that's necessary. More than likely it's something in you that's missing. You dropping the ball somewhere and you ain't even noticing. You're failing to complete your mission at being a man. Black women not gonna settle for that with a black man. Other races of women, they'll settle for that with a black man, especially a white woman. It's all about power dynamics. Once you've lost the high ground, that C Boogie would say, once you've lost that high ground, you lost. But black women ain't gonna play with you if you don't got the high ground. Other women will. And then you find out what happens. That's the topic for the day, man. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Peace.